Hello. I'm gonna add our participants. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
doing okay. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm just inviting a few more
Yeah,
participants. Thanks for joining. I'm super excited.
yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. Hmm.
I don't know how to do what you're doing, so I'm glad I'm not having to do that.
It's super fun. This is my first Instagram live, so
Yeah,
we're
it's,
both learning.
yeah.
How has your Friday been?
It's been good. It's been super busy, but it's been good.
Good, good. Okay, let's see.
I'll leave you alone. You can.
No, oh my gosh, this is great. This is so great. We have a few people that said they'd want to join, so let's see. We're going to try to do these weekly starting now, which is super fun.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Do. Let's do Okay. Oh, we got some. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Comments, got people joining. This is awesome. Okay. So fun. Okay. So, Jake, you have been making a lot of merch I've been seeing in the Apollo chat, right?
Yeah, well, I made a shirt, and I think there's been some spin-offs and variations on it. I think there's an enamel mug and some other shirts kind of based off the initial design. But yeah, it's I actually need to order one. I keep putting it off and I keep forgetting, but I actually need to order one. So
That's awesome. They
yeah,
both. Um, if anyone watching is in our Discord, the Discord's where it's at. It's been super fun. We're gonna try to get more creators in the Discord, and so head to our website and join that.
yeah,
Got to learn about a bunch of people. Okay, so I guess we can get started. I think we have a few more creators maybe joining us soon, but can just jump right into it. Um, would love to hear just a little bit about what your medium is, kind of telling the viewers what you're all about, what your project is, what you've been working on,
sure.
anything.
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer, and if you've watched my profile video, you kind of know this stuff already. But I'm a practicing graphic designer, but my full time role is a an assistant professor of graphic design. I like to work in various mediums. I screen print, letterpress, and I do illustrations. And so I'm not medium specific. Um, so I've posted a few videos on the Discord channel. If y'all want to check that out, they're also on my YouTube that kind of break down some of the process of things that I'm working on. Um, and last thing, I'm currently working on a mixed media print that'll be a mix of photography and screen printing and laser cutting, laser etching. And so I'm working on the video right now of that, so you can kind of see what that process is like.
Okay,
Hopefully, I'll have that next early next week.
that's awesome. What got you started at creating? Like, what was your first project?
Well, I studied graphic design in college, and it was the first time that I'd heard that term when I was trying to pick out a major. Um, Before that, I kind of grew up doing art, traditional uh, drawing, painting, that kind of stuff, and discovered this whole medium that was tangential to fine art, but it was a little bit different. And so I've been doing that for, I don't know, practicing graphic design for about 13 years now. So
That is awesome. And then where do you see, I mean, you have so many mediums now. Where do you see your craft kind of going? Like, what is the sky the limit? Like, what's coming up in the next few months, few years?
Um, well, like every other person, I recently started a podcast, and so that's been a kind of a different way of thinking about what I do and inviting others to have a conversation about what they do. Um, I've been slowly forcing myself into writing, which is another practice that's um, kind of on the outskirts of what maybe people think consider design is, but it's something I'm interested in. And yeah, I haven't gotten bored of the what I do already, whether that's screen printing or letterpress or just drawing. I haven't really gotten bored of any of that stuff. So I don't know if that answers your question though.
Yeah, it does. What is your podcast name? Can you drop it?
Yeah, it's called Tangent, and I'll be sure to promote that in the Discord channel and talk about that. Yeah.
That's great. I think we had a question in the comments. Someone asked if you'd done anything in the NFT space yet.
No, and this is something Lana Johnson, who was an artist who won in season 1 of the creator contest, she interviewed me and we were talking about just the whole crypto world, and it's something that I'm trying to understand, and this is like my baby steps into that world through Apollo. So I haven't dove into the NFT space,
It's
probably because I don't understand it.
definitely, emerging, but we're glad to have you here.
Yeah,
We're your first step. That's so exciting.
yeah.
How did you get involved with the contest? How'd you hear about it? What made you apply? Tell me about that.
Well, like I said, Lana is. We studied art and design years ago in college, and she was just talking about it. And um, as a professor, you're always looking for ways, whether that's writing grants or approaching businesses or organizations. And as um, as sleazy as this can be, asking people for money to fund, whether that's something that you're trying to do within the classroom or you as a practitioner or researcher. And so um, writing grants is a whole thing, a whole job on its own. And so I've been kind of keeping my eyes open for alternative ways to fund projects. And she talked about this opportunity and immediately dove into it. Um, so yeah, I think I was messaging with someone, I think just yesterday, uh, on Discord about what an amazing thing this is that we have this community that is actively seeking out artists and creators and finding ways to fund what they're working on. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we love finding creators. That's really awesome. We love that you've been so involved in the Discord. We
Mhm.
want here to be involved. Our community loves new creators, and so just getting to meet them and learn about them has been great. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience in our Apollo Discord and what that's kind of done for you in terms of community or support?
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of jumping, like, I don't know, maybe almost thinking of it as like jumping on a moving train. This train's already rolling and you're jumping in. You're not sure what are the rules, what's everybody doing here. I was encouraged by Lana to just post, and so that's what I'm doing. Hopefully, it's not something that's been annoying in there, or me trying to dominate the conversation. But I think you want to share what you're working on, whether that's on social media or sending out newsletters or anything like that. And so hopefully people are, excited to see that stuff. Classes just started for me this week, which is absolute chaos. So I hope this weekend that I can kind of join back in and show some of the things that I've been working on.
Yeah, no, we loved when you jumped in and you introduced yourself and said, "Hey, here's what I'm working on." That's great. That's
Yeah.
we want creators to do. So we
Good
really
deal.
by that. What is it like for you teaching, like kind of teaching the next generation of creators? Like, what is that for you being a creator, but also teaching that craft?
Yeah. I need to kind of form a response, like an easy go-to response for this kind of thing. Um, so I apologize if I ramble. It's something that keeps me excited about what I do, both with teaching and even now with Apollo and entering this contest. It has been something that has encouraged and pushed me to make stuff. And so it's like, well, okay, well, I'm asking people to choose me to fund my projects. Okay, well, I need to tell them what I need funding for, and I need to show almost like a little bit of a proof or buy-in to why I need this money. And so with school, it's the same thing. It's like why ask all these students to do the thing that I'm not going to do myself. And so I try to lead by example in that way. And so that's why I'm constantly kind of making outside of what's required of me in the classroom. And I think I've already said this, but it just makes me optimistic and excited to kind of work shoulder to shoulder with all these, they keep me, I keep talking about this, but I keep getting older. They stay the same age. And so hopefully that's something that can just like keep my energy up. The fact that, fresh faces and people are coming, I'm getting a little bit tired every year. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, yeah, that new source of inspiration. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I think another question from the comments. It says we love our alumni, and it's awesome to see what them bringing new creators. What could we do to better improve and grow? I guess just our community, or maybe the
Yeah.
Discord, or yeah. Do you have any? I know we talked a little bit one on one about kind of what you'd like to see in the Discord, but yeah, any other like ideas that you've had about growing, making it a better place for new creator to jump in, anything like that would be.
Yeah. Um, well, I've got ideas. I don't know how successful they would be because this is something new to me. But I think having a place where um, creators can collaborate on things, can share what they're working on, and that be an active community. I think um, I don't know what else. Well, there's this whole other idea that I have that like it would be cool to see Apollo in some way maybe have a contest that's student specific, students that are working on projects, whether that's high schoolers or college students that are trying to do things that's a whole like separate competition that could be folded into the Apollo community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an awesome idea. That's great. I think whoever's watching loved that idea because there was a bunch of little hearts that came up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some support there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so if you are one of the top three finishers in this competition, what would you do with your winnings? Like, where do you have a plan of kind of where that would go, how that would help you tangibly?
Yeah, so again, if you watch my profile video, you can kind of see or hear what I'm interested in using the money for. I work on the computer a lot, a computer monitor. Uh, I said probably the nerdiest or the most unsexy thing that I would like to purchase is some paper, whether that's for printing, screen printing or letterpress, wood type, which I have some examples.
Oh, great.
Sorry, I didn't have my props ready, but this is an example of some of the wood type that I have. This is just one like numeral set, but this stuff is rare. It's decades, if not 100+ years old, and that's part of the letterpress process. That stuff is expensive to buy and to find, and so if I were to win the funds, I would definitely be on the lookout for that. Um, Paper, inks, those kind of things. This is something I'm also working on in the works at my university is starting some kind of practicing design studio with students, kind of operating that. And so potentially that could, the funds could go into kind of jumping starting that off.
That's great. So another form of that like collaboration between creatives that you're talking about. That's
Yeah, and give, allow them to have, or give them the opportunity to get some experience outside of a university setting, but still in a university setting. So, yeah,
that's great. That's really awesome.
yeah,
Well, I think my final question for you, which is a pretty big question, so you can take a second, but it really is just like what inspires you to create, to try new things? Just it can be anything in the world, but what would you say inspires you the most? That was one of the biggest questions we got from our fan submission.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, one of the reasons, or one of the things that really encourages me to continually push what I'm doing is being in a role where I'm expected to have that leadership. And that's, mainly with my students. I think most recently, again, when you being a part of this competition, it really makes you aware of, okay, am I actively making things? Am I showing what people are showing people what I'm working on? Yeah. So I'll go back to that answer. Hopefully that's not a cop out or anything, but it is true.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Does
Yeah.
anybody who's watching have any other questions? We got some great ones from our fans we were able to ask, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna scroll through. Might put a countdown timer. Oh, I think some people from your class is here. That's so
Yeah. I see some friends and former students and stuff.
that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Would love to see student contests also. Yeah, definitely some support for that idea. Well, that's really great. Um, well, yeah, we're excited for the end of the contest on Monday and to see a new contest start on Tuesday. It's going to be
Mhm.
awesome. So
Yeah,
I thank you for taking part of your afternoon out to come talk to me. That's been
absolutely.
great. What you get? Oh, do you get bonus points for students watching? Is the question that we got.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Perfect. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. Jake, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.